Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Ben Denowith on behalf of Mr. Robinson, who stands to my right. Have you stated your name yet?
No. Can you state your name, please?
Terrence Robinson. My mother's present.
And Your Honor, today's date times up for preliminary examination. At this time, the people are unable to proceed as to count one and would ask that this be remanded on count two.
You dismiss count one.
Your Honor, we have no objection to dismissing count one. We would like to address bond.
Count one is dismissed. His not guilty plea will continue as to count two. So remanded 14A2 District Court. I'll set a pretrial in this for
March 13th at 11 a.m.
March 13th, 2025, 9 a.m.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. before Judge Barr. As to bond.
Your Honor, as to bond, my client did appear on his own, he tells me, and the court had remanded him because he admitted to the court that he was not going to pass the drug test. I think that shows that my client is on the road to recovery. He's interested in his sobriety. He was honest with the court. He can be
Well,
released
at a point, he was honest.
My understanding is the court asked what would happen if you drug tested, and he said, I would fail for cocaine.
Is that me?
Well, that and a series of other drugs.
No.
And then, well,
I'm sorry.
we rolled the tape. But then, on his way out, and why I say he was kind of honest on his way out, he then started to change his mind and said, I'd be clean.
Yes.
Well,
Okay. Go ahead.
well, today I do believe he would pass the test for cocaine. Because he's been in for more than 3 days. I think that would be out of his system. But my client does have a really great job offer to be a forklift operator, making $22.51 an hour. He has some previous forklift experience, but R&L Carriers is going to train him. He is able to live with either his mother or his wife, who is the complaining witness in this case. The court did not want to go for that. But I believe the complaining witness is okay with no assaultive contact and him living with her if he's compliant with CMH, which I think the court can order that.
He has a Suboxone prescription, right?
Yes. He has other Seroquel. There's other medications as well.
Right. But one of the court's concern as he was listing up sort of his panoply of drugs that he had taken is that the combination of some of those could kill him. And so that was, so that you know, the court's primary concern, because I'm not sure that he has his drug use under control.
May I speak, Your Honor? May I speak for first bench?
You can go ahead, but I mean, I'll just tell you, I think that you were honest with me when you were telling me what you were using.
Right.
But the thing is that you're going to end up dead. If
No.
you,
Right.
yeah, no, you don't. Okay, you can tell me not, but they're telling you.
I understand what you're saying, though, because previously I did have a real bad problem with heroin and mixing and shooting, but
Yes.
that's way behind me, Your Honor. I don't even know why I said the things that I said that day, but
You were under the influence.
um,
So you're telling me the truth, but you had been using clear.
yeah, but not the drugs that I've been clean from and I've been sobriety.
Remember complaining about
But I did
not getting your medication?
Yeah, they took my.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Assistant Public Defender Ben Denth, representing Mr. Terrence Robinson, who is seated beside me. Have you had the chance to state your name yet, Mr. Robinson? No? Could you please state it for the record? Mr. Robinson. Terrence Robinson. My mother's name is mother's name. Your Honor, today is the scheduled date for examination, and at this point, the people are unable to proceed on count one.
And then I was going to comply with CMH. And like I said, I got a job offer with R&L Carriers because the bills are piling up with my wife, with DTE and the rent and stuff. And I'm the one who takes care of the bills, Your Honor. So it's kind of I'm in a rough house, rough spot. But I assure you, Your Honor, if you do give me back the PR, I will respond. Of course, I will respond to whatever you have me drop or whatnot, because I do meetings online in recovery with my peer coach and things. Other than that, I do paint and stain mastermind, just my company that I do painting. I'm actually in the middle of a drywall job. And I'm finishing up as well, but yeah, the bills are behind and stuff. Your Honor, I just throw myself at the mercy of the court. I miss my family.
And if you die, they're going to miss you.
I'm not going to die, Your Honor.
Yeah, look, I don't know how you tell me that.
Yeah, I don't.
I wish you could see how you looked when you came in. You were a mess.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were telling me all kinds of things, and then all of a sudden, when I asked you what would show up in your system, and maybe Mr. Denworth is right. I give you credit because you started listing off a bunch of drugs. Then you started talking about self-medicating. You were just talking.
Yeah. Yeah. I apologize, Your Honor. Like I said, it was a struggle for me to get my meds back. However, CMH, I was able to get a hold of them. They were able to get my meds over to, starts with a G. And it's a very low dose of Suboxone, but
okay. It's a low dosage until you start mixing it with other stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not doing that, Your Honor, and I'll be compliant with whatever drug test, Your Honor. That's so far behind me. I don't even know why I said that, to be honest with you.
You said what?
I honestly feel like I would have dropped clean the cocaine, to be honest with you. I don't even know why I said that, but I was under a lot of pressure, and I couldn't believe that I was even being, locked up in the first place because, I've never had any violent type of anything on my record like this. So I'm the one who called, the cops to try to help me so I can leave. But since then, like I told my wife, I said we got to do some counseling. Here's
the thing. Until and I won't see it, you can present, I think, a plan in place to Judge Barr about what he's going to do to try to ensure, in great part, his safety, his lack, or he's not using some way lashing out in a violent way, because I think it escalates to that point with you. And so I am not going to change his bond at this point in time. You can raise the issue before Judge Barr once there's a plan in place. But at this point,
if you don't mind, you said you would put me on the. You said next time you see me that you would put me on the tether, and I said I will do the drug drop for you. Remember, because I was like I don't know that other judge, because I was like he's making me guilty, right? Before I'm even seen guilty. He's put me on.
Oh, I remember everything.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen.
Count 2. We are ready to proceed. The court. Very well. Count 1 is dismissed. A not guilty plea will stand as to count 2. We will continue on to the next steps. Mr. Robinson, you are remanded to 1482, District Court. I'll set a pretrial hearing for March 13th, 2025, at 11 a.m. Public Defender. Your Honor, regarding bond, my client, Mr. Robinson, did appear voluntarily in court today. He informed me, as he did the court, that he would not be able to pass a drug test. To me, this shows his willingness to be open and honest with the court about his situation. It also demonstrates that he's working towards recovery and sobriety. I understand that the court was concerned when Mr. Robinson
Go to work and take care of my family. I will be compliant. I will drop for you. I don't do drugs, Your Honor. I don't.
Understand? It's not my issue, really, with you. My issue with you is there's not a plan in place. You've gotten yourself to the point basically you're out of control. And all I'm asking and all I'm saying to present to Judge Barr is a plan in place that has a component. You're back in touch with CMH, correct? You need to work with them to get a plan in place that sort of lays everything out for you.
Well, that was the thing. I had one in plan. What they did was they wrote down the wrong address that I had signed for.
Robinson?
Which was Robinson. If you don't want to let me,
You want me to get the video and just play it so you could see yourself?
Your Honor,
Oh, really, Mr. Robinson? You need to.
I need a haircut. I know that.
What?
I need a haircut. I know that. I know I look bad. Like I said, I don't do drugs. I'm
It has
clean.
nothing to do with
I
your
take care of my family, Your Honor. Well, locking me up is not helping my family at all because we're behind in DT. It's going to be shut off. We have kids live there. And I don't think it's not, I mean, it's not fair to my wife that she has to suffer and the kids. And I got a job offer on the table. It's just sad. It's truly sad, you know. But hey, I'll lock back up. That's what you want me to do.
Not an issue of wanting to do that.
So I'll be compliant with CMH. Like I said, I was compliant. They got my meds over there, very low dose of Suboxone, in which I really don't even really need them. I just want the boost bar.
See, and that's where the problem is. They're not going to be just giving you stuff that you don't need. Ma'am, what do you want to tell me?
Just that he was trying to get into the lighthouse facility around November, but they were full. They said that they were falling back. They had it every day. So I don't think that he was trying to get into treatment.
I don't doubt any of that. I don't doubt that he may have realized that he was spiraling, but he had gotten himself to a point that I think, were you here that day? I don't know. But I'm just going to tell you, he had gotten himself to a point that he was sort of way beyond where he needed to be at that point. So if they had offered him a bed, then, you know, I will leave his bond where it is. I will indicate that he can be released to inpatient, so that if a bed does become available, that he can be released to that program.
But Your Honor, may I speak? The reason that I was going to inpatient is because I couldn't go home to my wife.
That's mine.
You know, I couldn't go home to my wife, so that's why I was going into treatment. I said, it's the only way I can have a bed and be able to go through this trial thing. And that, when I really don't have a drug problem, Your Honor, I really don't.
Yes, you do. You do.
I have a mental disability,
That may come along.
and I am being
But
treated,
you have a drug problem too.
and I've been being treated for that.
That mom, what did you want to
And
say,
I go to work every day.
sir? You're his mother.
What they're not looking at is, Terrence didn't grow up just to have a drug problem. Terrence has been in a car accident, hit walking down the street with brain damage. This is where his problem relies at. So they started him on, I took him for 6 months on his leg, broken, his head was gashed. He has, and that started his problem. The doctor started putting him on, Vicodin. He kept double dosing him. And this is how his drug happened.